Last year, I posted a theory about how Doc Hudson died before Cars 2 started. Yes, I know the actor himself passed away, but so did George Carlin, and Fillmore was never noted as dead in Cars 3. Anyways, I speculated on what the inside of a car looks like, and it was pointed out to me in the comments that something doesn't work with this idea. Mostly, that's because in Cars 2, we see inside of a car that's modified itself to have eyeballs for headlights. That thing is so unsettling. But while reevaluating that, it actually took me to a place that just might help confirm part of the Pixar theory. Personally, I love the idea of the Pixar theory, but there are just some movies that it doesn't fit with. And the idea of machines, specifically cars, gaining sentience, then rising up to overthrow mankind was one of those plot points that just didn't fit with all the other movies. However, there is a much more simplified answer, and it helps to explain why cars are living on a planet with no humans, yet they have places like Florida, Japan, and Route 66, which clearly shows that they are in a human universe. And that answer is, drumroll please, Skynet! Okay, hear me out. I've said before that my 3 biggest fears are ghosts, intelligent aliens, which is why I'll never cover E.T., he terrifies me, and Skynet, which is where robots decide to take over mankind. Basically, Skynet is an example of mankind killing itself through our false perception of controlling machines. Kinda like iRobot. Now, normally, this would not cross my mind while watching the Cars trilogy, but if the cars are really empty inside and they even have doors which would serve no purpose in a vehicle-only society, then maybe the answer is deeper than we thought. Maybe the answer is that the cars aren't sentient. They're just highly adaptable artificial intelligence gone wrong. I mean, we live in a world where we can't see any movie without an ad for a car that partially drives itself. Then we have technology like Google Assistant, Siri, Cortana, and Alexa, where the artificial intelligence, or AI, is so advanced that it can listen to what you're saying and come up with responses on the fly. Movies like Her have already predicted AI so advanced, thoughtful, and convincing that people start falling in love with the voice inside their phone. And every year, more car models get equipped with 4G so that you can access the internet within your car. So I don't think it's going to be very long before those 2 ideas combine to give us cars with full AI. And these cars will not only be talking to us with their own unique personality, kind of like how Friday talks with Tony Stark, but they will also be able to drive themselves, giving them maybe a need for eyes. And after you have eyes, the next step is the cars communicating with each other and having their own mouth. Granted, this type of technology isn't going to appear tomorrow, but I'd say within our lifetime it's really reasonable to see something in this ballpark, meaning none of the cars are actually alive, they're just so good at communicating and developing personalities that they seem like they're alive. These guys easily would pass any Turing test you give them. So, taking that idea and putting it into the Pixar theory, I don't think animals rose up to fight mankind, and I don't think vehicles gain life as if the blue fairy blessed them. I believe that humans developed an incredibly impressive personal assistant device for their cars that made the cars simulate the effect of being alive. My guess is that after humans polluted the planet and evacuated on the Axiom, the cars were all left behind because, well, humans were in survival mode and didn't exactly have the need to drive around any longer, so bringing cars didn't make any sense. The vehicles were left behind while the Wall-E machines went about cleaning up all the garbage on the planet, condensing it in several locations across the country, but ultimately leaving the rest of the world free of debris, giving the cars room to roam and do as they please. Think about it, we know Wall-E was working in a huge city, and that's where Eve just so happened to land to check for plant life. But if you were checking for plants, then why would you go to the most urbanized places to look for them? Eve should have been in the middle of the farmlands, not in a city, which means we have no idea what the rest of the country looks like other than the city Wall-E's working in. So without humans around, the AI and the vehicles started gaining this ghost in the shell complex where they began talking to each other more and more more until they develop these complex societies because their programming pushed them to pursue conversation. And this concept also explains why we see newer models of cars coming to life, yet there's no scenario where mommy and daddy cars are making baby cars. At least no real scenario. Meaning the cars come off an assembly line and get programmed with AI, then they're released into the world. Just like a Terminator. Oh my gosh, I'm gonna be too afraid to watch this movie ever again. But hold on for all you naysayers. I know what you're thinking. Why do we see old cars like Mater in the movie if this is part of a technology advancement? Well, look at the DeLorean DMC-12. They only made 9,000 of them between 1981 and 1983, but the car became so popular with fans of Back to the Future that they actually made more a few years ago. And with things like 3D printers that are able to fulfill our heart's desires, it's not crazy to think that future humans have a way to choose and customize cars from any style they like. Then after the humans were gone and the world mostly cleaned up, the cars rose up as the dominant quote-unquote life forms and remodified gas tanks and everything else to suit their own needs. This would have also allowed the vehicles to take over car production methods to make more and more cars with ever-advancing technology and features as they had access to the internet to learn everything there was to know. And as older cars rusted away and permanently broke down, the car population eventually had no idea that humans ever existed, and the world belonged to them completely. It might not be reality, but theories are more fun or terrifying if you hate the idea of sentient machines like I do. Well, that's all I have for now, but this video's not quite over yet. I get a lot of comments that say, do a theory on this topic, but I've already done those theories. So please consider going to my main channel page and clicking on the video tab so that way you can see everything I've done. You will probably find a lot of things you like that you never even knew that I posted. I want to let you know that I also have two other channels, Say Halo Goodbye Gaming and the Fanily Family Vlogs. Thank you so much for watching, and I hope you enjoyed enough to hit subscribe and share. I can use all the help I can get to let other people know that this channel exists. And if you made it this far, leave me a comment that says something like, hey, I made it to the end, and then let me know what kind of videos you want to see in the future. I can't make any promises, but the more people that request something, the more I can look into it. Okay, well, I love you. I'll see you in the next video.